Rewind to 2005. I had played all of my PS2 games a million times and couldn't buy a new one because playing San Andreas without cutting anyone wasn't cutting it, and I couldn't play with my dog because it was more interested in lying on the carpet and not breathing. I needed something new. My immediate thought was the internet. So I rushed to my computer and at the sight of my empty desk realised, oh yeah. However, I remembered that my friend had a computer that, because the colour white wasn't invented yet, was beige-ish. After turning it on, I had another revelation. This is 2005, the internet is dog shit. Defeated and out of options, I spent the next few minutes browsing the computer, praying to find anything that could entertain my monkey brain. That's when I stumbled on Windows XP's greatest feature, its pre-installed games. A pinball game set in space, a strategy epic where one wrong move could lead to death by explosion. Solitaire. These are games I never would have played if they weren't free, because I was a kid. Everything that wasn't already familiar had cooties. Thus, the free-to-play model was originally nice because it combated the technological limitations of the time. The crappy internet and hardware meant that PC gaming wasn't accessible to a lot of people, so having simplistic experiences like this packaged in with the computer alleviated this. The effectiveness of this is enforced by the surprising legacy these games have had. If you go on the R-Gaming subreddit, you will see three things every day. 1. Fuck Call of Duty. 2. The phrase unpopular opinion, usually before fuck Call of Duty. And 3. This fucking image, usually accompanied by a story about how they used to play this with their brother who's now dead. Mobiles also used to have pre-installed games, the most notable probably being Snake. And yeah, I can see why our gaming doesn't discuss this as much. However, this simplicity was also the issue with these games. Because they were so simple, they quickly became repetitive. There's only so many times I can play solitaire before it becomes dull. Luckily, it wouldn't be long before my family finally defeated capitalism and gained access to the internet. This opened an entire new world of free-to-play experiences. There's three in particular that were notable. The first is promotional flash websites. When an entertainment product, usually a game, movie and sometimes music, released, they'd often have an interactive website promoting it, with info, details about the world, the characters and so on. These were like normal websites, but if everything made noises and tried to sell you things. I'm sure there's a social commentary joke somewhere in there, but I'm a coward! So these websites also had free-to-play games on them, based on the property. Remember that scene in the Simpsons movie where they straight up showed Bart's dick? There's no way you could make that even more cursed, right? Well, here's a 3D render of Bart's asshole gliding through a street. This was a brilliant marketing tool because it got people into the product's world in a more immersive and personal way. It's one thing to watch a 1-minute summary of Tony Hawk doing what he thinks kids find cool, and another to directly experience the gritty skating culture, contribute to the rebellious adventure and be a disappointment to your parents. The second one, and arguably the most important one given it's what popularized the model, was social games. With it getting more and more popular, the internet became an excellent communication platform. While most used it to showcase photos of their crappy meals, be racist, or share one of my videos only to receive numerous responses saying I never mentioned the game a hat in time even though I mentioned it multiple times, nice job guys, some brilliant people used it to evolve video game multiplayer. You no longer just texted people, you texted people while walking through a strip club built by a homophobic 10-year-old in Habbo Hotel. You no longer went to your friend's house to play that really underrated Lord of the Rings game, you embarked on epic odysseys together from your own homes in Wizard 101. Only to realise your computer's too weak to run Wizard 101, so you go to your friend's house and play Lord of the Rings. You no longer repelled women with your face, no, you still did that, but now you had a Club Penguin account too. These merged the accessibility and anonymity of chat rooms with the interactivity of video games into adding a fresh dynamic to both mediums. While some did find success with a subscription model, many were popular in part because of their wide availability. These are also interesting in hindsight because many of the current free-to-play games focus on multiplayer too. Fortnite, OnlyFans, Apex Legends, etc. So this was the most direct predecessor to the modern landscape in some respects. We also saw social games as part of social networks. The biggest to do this was Facebook. One of the most popular games on the platform was FarmVille, so it seems fitting to me to discuss these games in a more suitable way. This one goes out to To all my extractors out there, son of a bitch. When the rise of social web games, Zuckerberg turned to his servants and said, is this what humans like to play? He decided Facebook would be a good fit. They bring Candy Crush, Mafia Wall, but Joe Blur. They were instantly a big hit. All had a simple gameplay loop, the ability to have a player too, and a pick up and play design too. Skirt! This made it accessible to the casuals, to the point it's all you would see on your profile wall. I just wanna speak to my friends and pick some call. Instead I'm planting seeds in virtual overalls with Karen, a 59-year-old soccer mom. God damn it, your farm is awful, leave me alone. Who's Adam? I don't even know who you are. He keeps adding me to play poker, suck my balls. Can't stand this, but I recognize the impact it had on mainstream gaming in '09. There's a reason I can't escape these fucking invites. It evolved the dynamic of the multiplayer state, made us all play in a completely new way. That's the legend of Facebook. Tractor. I fucked my horse while playing Red Dead Redemption. So, these first two online free-to-play forums kept young me captivated, but then my time with them came to an abrupt end thanks to an old foe. The beige-ish computer died because the hardware was cheap and flimsy and beige. To make things worse, I then had to face my second arch nemesis. In the classroom, I tried numerous things to keep me entertained. I tried playing my PSP hidden behind my pencil case, but it was uncomfortable and had Secret Agent Clank on it, ew. I tried talking to the girls in my classroom, but oh fuck, get away from me, no! Defeated and out of options, I went to my next class, IT. At the back of the room, I saw a saving grace, a computer facing away from the teacher. I sat at it and, sure enough, was able to go on any website without consequence. After a bit of searching, I stumbled upon our third example, Flash games. I'll keep this short because these have been talked about to death, to the point they're on the YouTube video essay Mount Rushmore alongside Super Mario 64, the Star Wars sequels, and super serious movie analyses where everyone talks like this. One of the reoccurring points of this video is how the free-to-play model increases accessibility, both for players and creators. Flash games were the embodiment of this. A lot of them were simple games made by a random person for fun, and uploaded to a website to play alongside thousands of others. These websites had little to no creative regulations, meaning we saw some wild shit. Have you ever looked at George Bush and thought, damn, if only he was a video game character with a machine gun? Well, someone with programming skills and a lot of meth did. The free-to-play model was game-changing for PC gaming, to the point that by the late noughties, we started seeing a rise in the model on dedicated game systems. My fondest memories in this regard were on the Xbox 360. It took my channel existing for a year, but I finally got PlayStation's cock out of my mouth. Character development, everyone. Have you ever looked at your Xbox 360, a Dorito, and the TV show Total Wipeout and thought, my god, that's it? Well, the guy that made that George Bush game must have got a job at Microsoft. Doritos Crash Course was a 2D platformer that unironically existed, and was the earliest free-to-play Xbox game I remember Microsoft really pushing, probably ironically. It was successful to the point it got a sequel, showing there was interest in the free-to-play model on consoles. Sony clearly saw its potential too, because on the dashboard of every PS3 was a free-to-play game called PlayStation Home. Home was like the social web games I discussed earlier, wherein you navigate a virtual world as a custom avatar while talking to your fellow players about how much of an N-word you are. It was packed with numerous minigames and had many areas based on PlayStation games and properties. It also had an in-game camera, which teenage me loved using to Like I said, I was a teenager at the time, so I think it's forgivable for one hormonally charged... yeah, okay. Despite never leaving beta and shutting down just 7 years after launch, the game made Sony millions, hence further showing the early potential of free-to-play on console. By 2011, free-to-play was commonplace on all gaming systems. They were still most popular on PC by far, but console developers had clearly realised the promise of the model. The 3DS and PS Vita both launched with numerous free-to-play offerings. Interestingly, many of these were designed to showcase the system's more unique features, which apparently begins and ends with augmented reality. To summarise my thoughts on these, I've owned a PS Vita for about 8 years, and I've considered trying Welcome Park about 8 times. Thus, the free-to-play model has been a useful way for developers to blur the line between tech demo and game, hence allowing more creative and succinct experiences that might have not existed otherwise. Free-to-play became so popular that there was even a console with the selling point that most of its games would be free-to-play. However, I like happy endings, so that's all I have to say about that. So that brings us to the current free-to-play market, where the App Store is filled with free games and a lot of Vikings apparently, where games like Fortnite and Apex Legends dominate console gaming, to the point that our gaming has replaced fuck Call of Duty with fuck Fortnite. Character development, everyone. Given the broad definition of free-to-play I've established here, there's probably a few other examples that could be covered, however I'd say all the ones I've covered here are the notable ones. Although, I guess every game is free-to-play with the right equipment. Nowadays, free-to-play seems to have a mixed reputation, due to some games using the model as an excuse to feature scummy microtransaction options and some tragic fashion statements. I find this reputation disappointing, because the free-to-play model has actually played a nice role in gaming history. It helped kill the misconception that indie games are worse than their AAA peers by opening more avenues for them to be experienced. It made gaming more accessible for casual audiences, hence pushing the medium further into the mainstream and hearts of 59-year-old soccer moms. On a personal level, it opened the mind in this already massive head to a wider range of games and helped me experience my first heartbreak when my Habbo girlfriend broke up with me. I'm still salty about it. Free to play is great, so the next time you go on Reddit to type fuck Fortnite to get easy upvotes, think of the kids with beige-ish computers who got value out of these games when they couldn't get value from their bank accounts. Then again, they'll all be dead by 25 from too many drugs, so fuck it. Give me likes, you hat and time worshipping cunts. With Garen, a 59-year-old soccer mom, god damn it, your farm is all fall, leave me alone. Who's Adam? I don't even know who you are. He keeps adding me to play poker, suck my balls.